Sea Dragon Nest is right around the corner and you will 100% fail to even enter it if you don't have entry tickets. You can only get these tickets via Manticore and Apocalypse Hell mode, but these tickets are not tradable, therefore, clearing them weekly is very important. I understand Hell mode content is intimidating and others are still getting kicked out of pub parties, so my job here is to share my experience on this content and you might learn a thing or two for your next attempts. Hello everyone, my name is Knive and today we will go over some tips and tricks and overall nest analysis for both Manticore and Apocalypse Nest Hell mode. If you are looking for the basic or normal version of these nests, I highly recommend checking out my previous guides and then come back to this video to be more familiar on the topic. For more context, I will only highlight important stages that have a high impact whether your team can clear this content or not. Let's start with Manticore Nest. From our party's personal experience, there are only two major choke points that would break your attempt. These are the Gargoyle stage and the Serpent Lamia stage. But why the Gargoyle stage? Let me explain. Your party could easily get wiped out and spend a lot of revives if these guys are not dealt with swiftly. Fighting one Gargoyle is very annoying because that thing moves around a lot and could root, burn, and poison you altogether. You know what's on the Gargoyle stage? Yes, lots of annoying gargoyles, but what are ways to easily deal with these guys? If we go back to my original guide, it is highly recommended not to chase these gargoyles, but instead, fight them at one spot of the arena to easily group them together while ensuring you are within the effective range of your priest healing relics, or relics in general. Additionally, crowd control skills such as a Force User's Time Stop and Gravity Ascension works on these mobs, so make sure to take advantage of that. If you don't have a Force User on your lineup, the Bind Relic works too. I also noticed some pub teams reserve their ultimate skills until the boss gargoyle spawns. While it is a very efficient strategy, it is a bad decision if you cannot quickly burst a single small gargoyle. Don't hesitate to use your ultimate on these little guys. Your goal is to fully isolate the boss gargoyle when you're already fighting it to make sure your team's focus is not divided. To increase your odds of clearing this nest, make sure no one dies on this stage, otherwise, it is recommended to do a rerun and save your resurrection attempts. If your team manages to clear this stage, congratulations! Your only concern is now the Serpent Lamia, so let's go over that part. Remember the last tip I shared about using Detonate to cancel her floor attack? That's going to be handy here in Hell mode because the major difference of this mechanic from the normal mode is there is no countdown timer before she casts this attack. Your team needs to observe either the crystals at the middle or her attack animation to quickly go to the safe healing zone. But as we can see in this footage, I kept on abusing the Detonate skill to both make my party safe and extend the DPS window of my team. For good measure, it is highly recommended for warriors to cast their Highlander buff on this boss fight because the odds of a team wipe is very high. Once your team clears this major hurdle without spending too much revives, you now have a 90% chance of clearing this nest. The remaining 10% will come from your own mechanical skills as the difference of the Golem and Manticore from the normal mode is very minimal. And that's a wrap for Manticore Nest Hell mode. Now, let's go over the Apocalypse Nest. Majority of failed Apocalypse Hell runs comes from the Fanatic Bland killing your team multiple times because of either the AoE Chain Lightning or you don't know how to deal with his Bear Hug. I recommend mastering how to deal with these two mechanics from the normal mode because it will come in handy when you are fighting him here in Hell mode. Before we go into detail on its Hell mode difference, let's quickly go over our preferred boss pathing before reaching the Fanatic Bland stage. First, we go left side and access the Fake Brothers and the Annoying Wisp. And then, we will go back and head to the right side with 3 keys to fight the Color Game Minotaur. The Color Game Minotaur is simple. You see a blue aura on the boss? Kill the red ghouls. Red aura? Kill the blue ones. This part is very intuitive, so I highly trust your observation skills and not blindly killing everything on sight. After clearing the color game miniature, we will then go back and access the double key lock door, then run past the stone to access the single key lock door behind to find the lamppost ghost. Compared to its normal mode, the light spawns randomly, so it is best to group up in the middle, then go together where the light spawns to quickly lure the ghost. Now that the path is open, we now head to Fanatic Blanc. In Hell mode, the Fanatic Blanc has only 4 times health. However, he now has a self-heal at 1 times health, so it is recommended to have a decent DPS to take him down before he casts another self-heal. Actually, that's it. That's the only difference of Fanatic Blanc compared to his normal mode counterpart. So if you can do this fight cleanly on normal mode, you only need to have a higher DPS to easily deal with his healing shenanigans. Also, make sure your team has at least 3 or more revives left before facing the Judge Apocalypse to increase the odds of a successful Hell mode run. Now, we go to Judge Apocalypse Hell mode. Hell mode Judge Apocalypse has a very tight DPS window because he is very aggressive compared to his normal mode counterpart. Right off the bat, he will cast an AoE floor attack, and if you don't have enough magical defense, it will easily wipe a chunk of your health if you get hit by it. It is very important to get used to dodging this move because he spams this move a lot. Therefore, the best time to use your long animation skills is right after this attack. Also, for my priest friends out there, make sure to bait this attack first before placing your healing relic to avoid it getting destroyed. In Hell mode, his dash attack is followed by crazy tantrums, so don't chase him right after his dash to avoid getting caught by this attack. At around 2 times health, not only will it spawn its mini tentacles but also cast a pentagram prison. There are 2 ways to dodge this. First, if you did not get caught by the prison, it is best to move away to not get sucked in. Getting sucked in could instantly kill you. Second, if you are inside the prison, look up and find the open spot of the pentagram to avoid its explosion. Other than that, you can simply follow the same strategy used in normal mode to deal with its 1 times health phase in case your team got fully wiped out. The strategy is reviving together, rebuff, cast Highlander if available, and then cast all your ultimate skills together to quickly burst the boss. Honestly, that's everything I needed to cover for these contents. In case I missed anything, feel free to add it in the comment section. More tips and tricks will help everyone improve and contribute to the fun of playing this wonderful game. At the end of the day, this is still a video game and it's meant to give you a good time. This is only a recommendation. Always do what works for you and prioritize your fun. If you reach this part and like the content, please do subscribe and leave a like so you won't miss my future uploads covering Dragon Nest Classic. And I'll see you next time. Knives out!